So in today's Gospel, at this point of the story, Jesus left the south and went north to Galilee. There, perhaps in Cana, he found and called Philip, and Philip, like Andrew, could not keep the good news to himself. So Philip went and found his friend Nathanael, and he told him that he believed that he had discovered the long-promised Messiah in Jesus, the man from Nazareth. And Nathanael was contemptuous. There was nothing in the Old Testament which foretold that God's chosen one should come from Nazareth. And Nazareth was a quite undistinguished place. And Nathanael himself came from Cana, another Galilean town, and in country places, jealousy between town and rivalry between village and village was notorious. So Nathanael's reaction was to declare that Nazareth was not the kind of place that anything good was likely to come out of. So Philip was wise. He did not argue. He simply said, "Come and see." So Nathanael came, and Jesus could see into his heart. "Here," said Jesus, "is a genuine Israelite, a person in whose heart there is no duplicity." That was a tribute any devout Israelite would recognize. And Nathanael was surprised that anyone could give a verdict like that on so short an acquaintance. And he demanded how Jesus could possibly know him. Jesus told him that he had already seen him under the fig tree. What is the significance of that? To the Jew, the fig tree always stood for peace. Their idea of peace was when a man could be undisturbed under his own vine or his own fig tree. And further, the fig tree was leafy and shady, and it was the custom to sit and meditate under the roof of its branches. So no doubt that was what Nathanael had been doing. And no doubt as he sat under the fig tree, he had prayed for the day when the God's chosen one should come. And no doubt he had been meditating on the promises of God. And now he felt that Jesus had seen into the very depths of his heart. It was not so much that Jesus had seen him under the fig tree that surprised Nathanael. It was probably the fact that Jesus had read the thoughts of his inmost heart. And Nathanael said to him, "Here is the man who understands my dreams. Here is the man who knows my prayers. Here is the man who has seen into my most intimate and secret longings, longings which I have never even dared put into words. Here is the man who can translate the inner my sign of my soul. This must be God's promise, anointed one, and no other." So Nathanael capitulated forever to the man who read and understood and satisfied his heart. And it may be that Jesus smiled at that moment, because he quoted the old story of Jacob from Genesis, who had seen the golden ladder leading up to heaven. So it was as if Jesus said, Nathanael, I could do far more than read your heart. I can be for you and for all people the way, the ladder that leads to heaven. It is through Jesus and Jesus alone that our souls can mount the ladder which leads to heaven. And it is true that Nathanael stands for the Israelite whose heart was cleansed of pride and prejudices, and who saw in Jesus the one who can satisfy the longing of his waiting and seeking heart. Amen.